So I'm about to install this trailer hitch. This is the hard dog for the Mazda Miata. So we need to remove the bumper, remove the license plate. We're gonna have to take out those two screws behind the license plate. Also, we're gonna have to remove the headlights. For that, we're gonna have to remove some of this paneling back here. So to remove the headlights, we have to remove this paneling in here, and we have a lot of these push pins. Okay, all the push pins have been removed, and we just need to disconnect some cables. Okay, so now we can access the bolts for the light. So I'm just gonna try to hold this back and undo those bolts without removing all the pins. Alright, got the headlight removed. There were these three nuts. I would say use a deep 10mm socket wrench. There's one nasty little booger and two regular boogers. Now we're going to remove all the bolts for the bumper. So there's some bolts behind this wheel. Yeah, there they are. Let's see, so I think that's an 8mm. So we're going to remove this cover, and then there should be another bolt back there for the bumper. And now I got to pull this flap back. So it just pops out, and you can see this is the bolt for the bumper that has to be removed. Alright, so we've got the bolts removed from under the wheel covers. Now we need to get these top bolts off. Already removed the bolts for the license, behind the license plate right here and here. And now these little star bolts, I've got T25, so that should work just fine. So the bumper cover is off, and once we removed all those clips at the top, behind the license plate and behind the wheel cover, then we just had to kind of push it around here and just kind of slide it out past these clips here. Now we're going to remove this. It takes a 17mm. There's 3 bolts on either side. You need some kind of extension. Alright, got the bumper removed and put the trailer hitch on. And now I'm just going to secure it with one of these nuts. Then I'll use it as a template for drilling the holes. And I believe it uses a 3/8 inch drill bit. So that's what we'll go with. Alright, so I went ahead and removed the template. I'm going to try to finish these holes off and clean them up a little bit better. It's really difficult to get through this steel, so make sure you have a good drill bit. Alright, so I went ahead and drilled a hole through this. So this needs to mount onto this. So I have to drill another hole through here. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this on top of it so I can get those holes aligned. This is the hardware for the trailer hitch. These are the backing support plates. I'll show you where those go. And we have 7 nut bolt combinations. Alright, so I went ahead and tightened down a couple of the bolts on the bumper, and I marked the hole in there. You can see my marker, so I'm going to try to drill that. I'm going to take this off and then try to drill it. Alright, so I was able to get it lined up. I ended up having to use a marker and a tape measure to mark the other side and drill from the other side, but thankfully I was able to get it lined up correctly. I'd say use a little bit bigger drill bit, maybe give yourself a little bit of lee room. Now I'm going to just put some Loctite on all these nuts before torquing them down. So the bumper is back on, and I'm about to put this piece in. You can see without that piece nothing is visible, which is nice. Okay, and there's what it looks like with the hard dog extension. And finally with the bike rack.